Alright guys, so we're talking about chest and triceps exercises today. Chest and tri day is probably my second favorite workout day next to leg day. I definitely think that leg day is my number one, but chest and tris is definitely a second, very close second. So the first exercise I got into was the isolateral chest press, which mainly works your pec major and your shoulders and your triceps. I like to switch this exercise out with bench press a lot of the time because it works those same areas. But I definitely think that bench press is a little bit more beneficial. But I do like doing the isolateral chest press because of all the stuff that it works. But the common mistake that people make with this exercise is they lose control of the descent of the weight. Essentially, when you're pushing this weight forward, you want to control and make sure you control it all the way going forward, and then when you're putting it back to the start position. I know I slammed the weights at my very last rep. Arms and my chest were getting fatigued, so I was really trying to push out that last set and try to go until failure. So that's why I slammed the weights. But typically, whenever you're doing this exercise, you want to make sure you control the weight all the way through and not try to lift the weight on momentum. Just because of the fact that you're only cheating yourself when you're trying to lift it on momentum. So honestly, you would try to lift a weight that you know you can and start off with that, and then see how well you do and see how well you're controlling the weight, and then kind of go up from there. It's definitely a very, very, very good exercise to do for anybody who, if you're a beginner or you're an advanced weightlifter, it's definitely a good exercise to do to build your pecs, your mid and your outer pecs, as well as your shoulders and your triceps. I definitely recommend this exercise. So the next exercise I did was the dumbbell incline press, which unlike the isolateral chest press and bench press, it works the upper part of your pecs as well as it still does your shoulders and your triceps, but it also gets that upper part of your chest that the flat bench and isolateral chest press doesn't quite get. And so it's important to get the full pec when you're working out chest. So I think that the dumbbell incline press does that accurately. You can also, there's so many different variations with that. You can also obviously do it with a barbell. I've seen people do it with easy bars. So it just depends on what you like better. I like the dumbbells because it's not so controlled. Like, you aren't really with the bar, it's controlled. With the dumbbells, you kind of have that variable of like, okay, you can't do as much because of it's a free weight, so you have to worry about controlling it while you're lifting it as well. But I do think that it is a perfect workout to build that upper pec as well as your shoulders and tris, like I said before, just to kind of give yourself that full scope of like, okay, I worked out my mid and my outer portion of my chest. Now I'm going to work on my upper pec to kind of give it that full look, and so you're not like one half of your pec is majorly overworked and then the other one is a lot weaker. So definitely the incline dumbbell press is something perfect for your upper pec exercise, which is the triceps push down or pull down, and it works your medial, lateral, and long head of your tricep, which are the three main components that make up your tricep. So you want to hit all of those to make sure you get growth on all three of those. The common mistake that a lot of people make with this exercise is that they have their elbows too far in and they're not getting that long head of their triceps on the back side here that connects to your shoulder. And so whenever they're doing that, they're only hitting two components of their triceps. So what you want to do is make sure you have your arms a little bit looser when you get that lockout. Whenever you go all the way down, make sure they're not so tight towards you, because you're not getting that full workout or the full experience of working all three components of your triceps. So making sure that you're doing the right form in this exercise is super important, because you do want to hit all three of those important parts of your tricep muscle if you want to see growth, or if you want to just, like I said, if you're trying to get muscular, if you're trying to work on your muscular endurance, so you won't see like fatigue in that part of your tricep. So make sure whenever you're doing the triceps push down, you're doing your full lockout, and that when you're pulling it down, you're doing full extension, but you're not having your elbows so close to your body. So make sure whenever you're doing that, it's 100% correct, and you can definitely feel the tension in your muscle every time you lock out. So if you're not feeling that tension, you might want to look at your form, but also make sure, just like with the chest press, you are able to accurately control the weight going up and down. I know that I didn't, but again, I was trying to go into a failure, so that's why on that last set and that last rep, I kind of lost control. But like I said, make sure you keep your form straight down, and make sure you're doing that. Another one of my favorite triceps exercise, overall kind of one of my favorite exercises in general, is the skull crushers. There's so many different variations on how you can do skull crushers. You can do it with dumbbells, which I often do. Here I'm doing it with an easy bar. You can do it with cables. You can do it with an actual regular bar. There's so many different ways that you can do this exercise, but it definitely focuses mainly on the long and lateral heads of your triceps. So it doesn't hit all three, but it mainly works on those two things. But at the same time, if you want to be more specific, if you do a decline, if you're on a decline bench and doing skull crushers, it'll hit more of your lateral head. If you're doing incline on an incline bench, depending on how far you're going down on that incline, it'll work your long head. I'm doing it on a flat bench, which works the long and lateral head. I like it better that way personally, because I feel like it's a little bit easier, or it's a little bit easier for me to keep my form, and it's a little bit easier on my wrist, especially with the easy bar. I know when I do it with dumbbells, it's a little bit harder because you're moving independently. So it's for me a lot easier to do it on the easy bar, but with the dumbbells, you're still working the same long and lateral head if you're doing it on a flat bench. But definitely skull crushers is definitely something if you're trying to build muscle in your triceps, or even if you're just trying to build up your muscular endurance. This is an exercise that I honestly think that you should incorporate into your workout. I did about 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps, honestly, just because I think that's the mark I'm trying to hit for trying to kind of bulk back up and build some more muscle. I kind of did 12 to 15 because that's the rep range that I feel like worked for me the last time whenever I was trying to bulk back up for optimum muscle growth and to hit hypertrophy. So definitely I think that skull crushers is something that people should incorporate into their workout plan. This is the last exercise to kind of do during chest and tris. It's kind of a wild card exercise I like to do at the end. It works your traps and your rhomboids, which your traps is right here connected to your neck, and then for those of you that don't know what the rhomboids are, it's a little bit further down your back, but it's still at the upper back. So it works those two muscles mainly. A common mistake that people make with this exercise, and something that I personally have trouble remembering at times, is essentially making sure whenever you are doing the exercise, you want to pinch right here so you can feel that tightness in your back here, in the upper part of your back, and making sure you're not I mean, I know it's a shrug, but you're not just going up and down. You want to push your chest out a little bit more when you're doing it. So when you're going up and down, you can really feel that tightness in your traps and your rhomboid part of your back. And trust me, like, you'll notice a difference whenever you're just like standing up and just doing the straight shrugs. You're not gonna feel really that tightness in that part of your back. But if you stick that chest out and then do your shoulder shrugs, you'll really feel that tightness, and you'll really start to feel the burn in that exercise. So that was my video. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your family, your friends, or anybody you know that is looking for good health and fitness tips. And make sure you share my channel with them. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.